Welcome back. In this episode, I want us to talk about attribute binding. In our previous episode, we talked about declarative rendering, and we were able to declare message and greeting, and you were able to pass the message and greeting using the mustache inside our HTML. In this episode, I want us to look at how we can be able to bind attributes to our HTML. And attributes are the values that you bind here. For example, style, and we have color of red, like that. So these ones are attributes. Anything else that you pass inside here. When you put the mustache inside the P tag, inside the HTML tag, in this case, it will not work for you because Vue.js will not know what you're attempting to do. So in this case, we use attribute binding. So we have been able to declare our style. Of course, if we are to declare the style for this second P tag, in this case, the paragraph tag that we have, we will still have to paste the same thing there. So I will just type in here and paste the same thing that we have there. And of course, if I'm to refresh, we can be able to have both the texts having the red color. Of course, this is not the best way to do it. And let me just delete both of them and be able to extract this into a single CSS file. So we can have a CSS file below here, and we can have it anywhere, by the way, even in the header tag. So we can have style like that. And inside here, I want to declare something called P. And P in this case stands for paragraph. And I can be able to pass here that the color is red. Red is good for optics. And if now we want to use this P in our HTML, in this case we can be able to just say class. And in this case we can be able to pass in P like that. And even for this other one, we can be able to have class and pass in P. And this is if you are working with HTML. You just do it like that, and as you can see, the text already has changed its color and we are having a different color. But if we want to pass these values by using Vue.js, we will be able to use attribute binding. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to name my class here. So in this case, we can say my class, or anything you want to call it. And in this case, I want to make reference to whatever it is that we have in the style tag. So in this case, what we have here is .p. So in this case, what I'm going to pass here is a value p, like that. And now, if we want to use that class here, of course, what I'm going to have here now is no longer p. I'm going to have my class, like that. And also for this other one, I will have my class. But there is a problem. If we are to refresh this, it will not display what we want. And actually, you can see we have reverted back to our default black color. If we want this to work for us, we are supposed to bind the attribute class inside our HTML class. Inside our HTML paragraph tag. So in this case, I'm going to write v bind like that. And this now will be able to work for us. As you can see, I've done it for one of the classes and not for the other. And so if I'm to refresh, we are going to find that only the first class is going to be applied because Vue.js understands what we are trying to talk about. So I can also do for the second one, and we can have vbind and then full colon like that. So even for this one, if I'm to refresh, again, even this one, you can see the color is changed to red. I want us to do a little bit more. I want us to have a button here. So I want us to have a button. And this button, I want to name it Click Me. Of course, we have not added any functionality to it. So if I refresh, and just click on it, nothing happens. I want us to listen to an event. Of course, we will talk about this at a higher level on other episodes, but I'm just doing this for the purpose of it. If you do not understand it, it's fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to listen to a click event on this button. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have v on click. And then we are going to pass a method that we will listen to. So in this case, we can pass I am clicked, like that. So this is our method, and I want us to declare after the data method that we have here, I want us to have methods, and inside methods is where we are going to have our method, or in other words, listen to the clicking of this button. And remember, we are using the style which we called API style. So inside here, I'm going to have a method, and of course we will have it as a function like that, and we can say alert maybe clicked, like that. So if we are to refresh and attempt to click on this button, now you can see it saying clicked. We can be able to pass attribute binding on this button such that sometimes, depending on the circumstances, we can disable it or we can enable it. So that is what I wanted to talk about. So we are going to create another value here, which I'm going to call is disabled. And in this case, we are referring to the button, and the first thing that I want us to have is true. So in this case, I'm saying that our button is actually disabled. And I want us to implement that. So here we can be able to bind an attribute, and remember, we are going to use vBind like that, and then we can have disabled like that. And so we can pass in is disabled. So in this case, whatever is that we have here is disabled, like that. So now I want us to refresh our button, to refresh our page. And now you can see our button does not work. Even if we try to click it many times, it doesn't work. Obviously, if conditions are right, we can be able to come back and now say we are allowing somebody to click on the button, and we can set this value to false, like that. And once we do that, now if we are to refresh, our button is no longer disabled because you can see it's even visible. Now when we click again, you can see it says clicked. This is the end of this tutorial episode. Subscribe to my channel, share this video, click thumbs up if you like the video. Thank you.